So last weekend I traveled to the town of San Sebastian de Mariquita. It is about 2.5 hours northeast of Ibagué by bus. We had made our way immediately east of Ibagué, rolling towards the pastures and fields that make up the surrounding area. The mountains were never really out of sight though, as we cruised northwards between the two ridges of the Andes in a fertile valley speckled with eye-catching rock formations. We rode by cows, rice, and wheat fields, highway vendors trying to earn an honest buck. We breezed through villages with histories lost in time, one with a past lost in mud. The sun was slowly setting on us and twisting the colors from bright to vibrant to monochrome and finally to dark. But we did get in early before the sun had set. The city was buzzing and stirring, waiting to awake from the restless heat of its tropical bed. Mariquita means ladybug in English, and may be something that a small, cute, and usually a welcome sight makes for a good analogy for the city of about 34,000 people. Located in the uppermost part of Tolima, Mariquita was founded on August 28, 1551 by Francisco Núñez Pedroso. The city first gained importance with the opening of the silver and gold mines near the area. One of these mines becoming La Ciudad Perdida, or the Lost City, in the neighboring town of Fallon, another popular touristic destination if you want to go check it out. Mariquita was an important stop before the minerals got loaded up on boats and sent to go down the Magdalena River and making their way up north to the Atlantic coast. The town declined with its influence when the mines closed, but regained some of it back after the Armeros tragedy of 1985. Today, the economy finds itself based on cattle breeding, commerce, and agriculture, growing panela, which is a sweetener with a flavor almost like molasses, aguacate, which is like a large avocado, and as well the delicious fruit that Mariquita is famous for, mangostino. But there's more Mariquita has to do with plants than just its agriculture. Mariquita has had significant input into the field of botany. It was the headquarters for the Royal Botanical Expedition from 1783 to 1791. You can learn about the expedition, important findings in the director of the expedition, Jose Celestino Mutez, at the Botanical House, located on the northeast corner of the plaza. The museum has informational posters, a beautiful garden with Latin names for the plants, as well as intricately hand-drawn scientific pictures framed and on display for everyone to see. If you would rather see some botany in the wild, then I suggest you also climb to the viewpoint, El Mirador, through the municipal forest, Bosque Municipal de Mariquita. Go straight and don't follow the road to the right if you want to get to the mountain top. Okay, this is just as we walk into the main entrance of the park, so if you're wondering how to get to the top, you go straight. You'll see this main path turns to the right, but you don't go there. That's access to the water treatment plant, I think that's at the end, but you go this way. And you follow this path and it goes along the side of the mountain all the way to the top, and it takes between 45 minutes and an hour, and it gets quite difficult near the top, but the view is absolutely amazing and totally worth it. So if you're in Mariquita, check it out. The hike starts off pretty easy, but increases in intensity and heat due to the lack of foliage near the top. The path is rugged, but the forest is tranquil and yet chatty with the chirpings of a variety of birds. When I was there was a lot of tarantula burrows in the area, however, I did not feel threatened. When you make it to the top of the mountain, you will be treated to a gorgeous view of Mariquita and everything else in the vicinity, with almost 360 degrees of visibility. You can see the different foothills and forests and fields that make up the area. And right beside the small city, you can also see the Guali River, or Rio Guali. After the hike back down, you can check out the plaza and drink some fresh lemonade to help beat the heat. The plaza contains a monument to independence with the city's flag on top, San Sebastian de Mariquita, their complete name. There's also a memorial to Mutiz, a large ceiba tree, and the St. Domingo Convent Church, or Iglesias Convento de Santo Domingo. Surrounding the plaza, there are many vendors with typical food. There are also many different types of bars and clubs, including one bar where you can hitch your horse in the back. Just don't try to ride your horse into the bar. A few blocks away, there's also the historical Ermita Church. It is a church that is still being used for prayer today. After that, if you are willing to take a 15-minute taxi ride out of town, you can get to the Medina Rapids, or Cataratas de Medina. At the river, there's a small ecological reserve with animals, a restaurant, and of course the rapids. Depending on the rain, it may or may not be safe to swim in the river, but if you can, the water is fresh and delightful. You can also hike a bit upriver and see different stages of the rapids. You get access to all of this for the small price of 7 mil, which is definitely worth it in my opinion. As for accommodation, I stayed here at Hotel Miguel, which was quite nice for the price at 35 mil per night, and that was for one bed, a TV, and an attached bathroom. They also have Wi-Fi. Unfortunately, I didn't get to see everything I wanted to see, but some other notable places to visit are the Paleontology Museum, the Santa Lucia ruins, which were under repair at the time, the Money House, and the Lagoon of Silence. But despite missing these places, I thoroughly enjoyed my visit to Mariquita, and I would suggest to anybody to stop by. Well, that's all I have. No hay más. Entonces, tienes un buen día.